Hey everyone, we got something really special for you all. The new raid weapons, the King's Fall weapons, finally are in the API, meaning we can look at all the roles, and I'm going to tell you what you should and should not use for PvE and PvP on all these weapons. Considering there's around 6 of them, I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker than normal, but I'll still try to give my best input for everything. So, first things first, we're going to talk about PvE for the Defiance of Yasmin. Honestly, I don't think any of these really matter. I would say personally, range for everything overall with this is definitely the best thing to go with on that, at least in my opinion there. And when we're talking about even still barrels, I don't think matter that much either. Personally, I would try to go for maybe accurized and hammer forged myself. Maybe something that gives me a little bit more handling as well. But honestly, I don't think barrels necessarily matter with sniper rifles as much. They do to a certain extent, but not really all the time. So here's what I would use in terms of PvE. So first things first, there's a slew of different things that you could use, but I would say that for PvE, I would use lead from gold or maybe even shoot to loot. I think that lead from gold is definitely better from this because when you pick a heavy, you're going to get more ammo for it. And considering you can have stuff like firing line, these will pair very well together for PvE damage. I think firing line is way better than Vorpal. So for me, my PvE god roll would definitely be lead from gold firing line, and you get these enhanced as well. So those are very nice as well. Ensemble also want to be too bad to pair with firing line, but overall I would say that. But for PvP, definitely going to be quick draw opening shot. You could even go moving target in quick draw, but I think opening shot is better because you're getting more aim assist and 25 range and all that on that first shot. And I think that this pairs really well together, and it'll make it one of the best snipers in the game. So for sure with this, and it has 40 zoom. I didn't say that, but yeah, this is definitely going to be one of the best guns in the game for PvE, and not necessarily PvE, but for PvP. Next, we're going to look at the Smider Moraine. I'm very interested to see what this can roll with. This is a gun I'm really looking for. Again, I would say range masterwork for this, or stability, whichever one you like more. Personally, I'm more of a range guy. But for barrels, I would definitely go with arrowhead break. That's going to increase that recoil direction and give you a boost to handling. And that's for the second perk. Maybe something like accurized rounds just to juice that range up a little bit more. But honestly, again, I don't really think these matter for PvE too much, and you're not really going to notice much for PvP as well. Speaking of PvP though, or PvE, we're going to start with that first. I'm seeing a lot of decent perks in here. Personally, I would say Demolitionist or maybe even Focused Fury. These two are both pretty decent. But for me, I think because I like running a lot of grenades in PvE, I would say Demolitionist for me. And then you could even pair that with Adrenaline Junkie. These pair really well together. So something like that. Also, One for All is in a fantastic PvE perk. So something like this or Focus Fury. There's a lot of different things you can do for PvE. But talking about PvP for a second, I would still maybe even run Demolitionist or Moving Target. I would say mainly Moving Target for this one. And then, honestly, there's a few decent perks in here. I probably wouldn't pick Firefly. I would either go with Swashbuckler or Adrenaline Junkie, even for PvP, but for me, mainly Swashbuckler. The new melee on Warlock on Arc 3.0 is so powerful. So I think that moving target Swash is definitely going to be the god roll for PvP. But yep, that's pretty much it when it comes to the Smider Moraine. Next is the Doom of Chelchis, or Kelchis, whatever you want to call it, for PvE. For PvE, again, for barrels, I don't really think these matter a whole lot. You could run like Tactical Mag would be good in PvE in my opinion. And then barrels, you could go with like a lot of different things. I don't think these matter too terribly much. Corkscrew wouldn't be terrible. I would stay away from Full Bore. I would probably go with Arrowhead Break there again, myself, because it gives you decent boosts there. And if I was playing PvP, I would definitely go Accurized and Arrowhead Break. Range Masterwork, of course. Gets you to 70 range. Pretty decent stats there. And when you fully craft it, you would also get some enhanced perk options as well. So I think for PvE, there's not actually no, sorry. Explosive Payload or Firefly would be fantastic with this thing, especially since you can create Firefly and Dragonfly. That's going to be fantastic. If you can't get Firefly and Dragonfly, Explosive Payload and Dragonfly would be really good as well. It's kind of like a scout rifle version of a Fatebringer. One for All would be also really, really good, and you can do that with Firefly or Explosive Payload. There's a lot of different things you could do here for PvP or PvE, I'm sorry. But yeah, I would definitely run these two, or actually for PvE, mainly Firefly and Dragonfly. I think that's really, really powerful. As for PvP, I'd say Eye of the Storm and Explosive Payload for me. Eye of the Storm is going to make it feel a lot better when it's when you're lower on health. Eye of the Storm is very, very good in my opinion for that. Frenzy might not be too bad also, but I would say Eye of the Storm for sure, and definitely Explosive Payload as well. Explosive Payload is great for flinching people, and when you're using a scout rifle, you're going to be able to flinch people from a mile away, so that is very, very powerful there. But that is it for the Doom of Kelkis. Now here we have the Zaoli's Bane. I'm seeing a lot of good perk options for PvE and PvP, but mainly kind of both. As for barrels, Hammerforge I think is the best for PvE and PvP. We're going to put a range masterwork on there as well just to boost that range. Kind of all these are going to go reload, or not reload, range masterwork, so keep that in mind. Also, you could run Arrowhead Break there in PvP, but definitely I would say that Accurized Rounds and Hammerforge is going to be the best bet for PvP, though I probably wouldn't bring this into PvP. You can also throw on Full Bore, but you do lose a lot of the stability and handling, so I don't think that's super worth it. But other handling masterwork wouldn't be too bad as well. I would honestly be okay with that. But this definitely isn't a PvP hand cannon, as I can see already, so I would kind of stay away from that. But PvE, Explosive Payload 1 for All, great perk combo. You can even go with Explosive Payload Firefly, which should also be really, really good. But I might even go with Firefly and Explosive Payload, or you could even run Incandescent, which is really good as well. So yeah, these are definitely my perk options. And then for PvP, might be Explosive Payload Eye of the Storm would be really good, or even Opening Shot Eye of the Storm. These would be really, really good. But again, these two are very, very interchangeable. I think Explosive Payload is really good because you do get a tiny bit more damage, so you get a little bit more forgiveness in my opinion, and also you do get some more range drop off as well. It does feel like it has more range, so definitely worth it in my opinion to run Explosive Payload Eye of the Storm for PvP. And then obviously, like I said again, either Firefly or 1 for All. Next, whoops, sorry, we have the Defiant. Oh wait, we already had this one. Whoops. Anyway, last gun. Oh wait, no, sorry, I want this one. I'll just put that in the other tab, and then we'll go to that really quick. Okay, Midas Reckoning. This is the fusion rifle. I see a lot of fantastic perks in here for PvE, and we'll get to that in a second. So, barrels, I really don't know what you would want to run here. Maybe Corkscrew wouldn't be bad because you do get some bonus to stability and handling and range. You do get like some pretty decent juice there, or even Small Bore. Just because it has low stats overall, I wouldn't go with something like Full Bore. I think that's a waste. For sure, something like Corkscrew. As for this, maybe Reload, you could go Charge Time as well. That is going to decrease the impact a little bit, but honestly, I don't think it's a huge deal. I would probably say Charge Time for this. And as for this, I really like Projection Fuse. I think Projection Fuse is really good for getting that range as high as possible. Liquid Coils also wouldn't be bad if you think about it, because then it offsets what you lost here. But still, I would say maybe Liquid Coils or Projection Fused or Enhanced Battery for PvE. Actually, you might not even need that, but that's a different thing. As for this slot for PvE, I'd probably go with Cornered. Cornered is really good for clearing out a lot of ads, and when you pair that with Reservoir Burst, it makes it even more disgusting. And I would say that Cornered Reservoir Burst is easily the god roll in PvE. Especially because you have Runneth Over. When you stand by nearby allies, you're overflowing the magazine. That means you're going to get a ton of extra damage in PvE. That's crazy. So yeah, Runneth Over, Reservoir Burst, and Cornered. You could run on this, honestly, like backup plan if you want. I don't know if I would, but you could do it. But yeah, something like that. Now for PvP, I keep getting those mixed up. Backup plan actually won't be bad. Honestly, I might even go Unrelenting, you know? That wouldn't be too bad also, or something like Backup Plan or Unrelenting for PvP. And then finally, the last perk, Successful Warm-Up for sure. This is really good in PvP, I find. Especially with something as low charge time as this. So yeah, every single kill you're going to get, it's going to increase that draw speed, or it's going to become quicker and quicker and quicker. So definitely Successful Warm-Up. You could even go with like Hip Fire Grip as well. There's a lot of decent perks in here. Well-rounded also isn't too bad. If you do like well-rounded, this actually wouldn't be too bad. So yeah, Successful Warm-Up, well-rounded, Backup Plan, Unrelenting, Cornered, any of these are fantastic perk options for PvP, though I probably wouldn't bring this archetype in there anyway. And finally, we have the Lmg Quillums Terminus. So decent perks overall, I can see, but nothing too crazy. Probably, I don't know if I would go Arrowhead. I might even go Corkscrew on this as well, just because you get overall stat boosts and small bore as well. And actually, for me, because this is like, I think it's a lower, or it might be a little faster. I think it's lower though. I would probably go reload speed on this. Either reload or handling, because this thing has terrible stats in there. Considering you have already higher base range with 68 base, I don't really think that you need to juice the range up too hard on this. So with that being said, even Fluted Barrel would be really good in my opinion, or something like Polygonal, or maybe even Corkscrew. There's a lot of different things you can run. I would just try to stay away from perks that decrease like stability, handling, and reload, just because I feel like when you have a slow LMG like this, it's kind of important. So as for here, I would say, Accurized rounds, nah, I wouldn't say Accurized rounds. Maybe Tac Mag. I think definitely Tac Mag for sure, because you're getting an increase to the magazine size and you're getting a great boost to reload and handling and stuff. So I think that this is definitely the best. Now we're going to talk about PvE perks. Stats for All is really good in my opinion. I actually really like Stats for All for clearing ads. If you're using this to clear ads, it's very good for that. Not really seeing anything else that'd be too phenomenal. Unrelenting wouldn't be terrible, but I'd say Stats for All, maybe even Ensemble would be not too bad. If you are using this for like boss damage in this slot, Firing Line isn't awful. It'd be kind of weird, but you could do it. I wouldn't use this to do damage in PvE, but whoa, I did not realize it had Killing Tally. Kills increases weapons damage until it's stowed or reloaded. Yes, Killing Tally, very good ad clear. Okay, so yeah, for PvE, I would definitely go Killing Tally or even Headstone. Either one of these are great. And then I would say then pair that with Stats for All if you're going for ad clear, because after hitting 3 separate targets, you're going to get increase to those 3 stats as well. So these would pair really well together. And then finally for PvP, this is where it gets a little interesting, because there's a lot of decent perks on here. You could use it for like Headstone. Honestly, I don't really think this thing matters in PvP. I wouldn't use it. But maybe Eye of the Storm wouldn't be bad, and something like Heating Up, or actually Dynamic Sway Reduction would be really nice. So Dynamic, Eye of the Storm, or you could go Firefly. You could also go with Wellspring. There's a few decent perks in here. But yeah, the main 3 I would pick are Wellspring, maybe Eye of the Storm, and then maybe even Focus Fury. Wouldn't be too terrible. But that is it for all of the weapons that came from King's Fall. These are all, in my opinion, the best rolls that you can get with them. Of course, you can enhance these perks as well and get bonus to stats and other stuff. So keep that in mind. We did not do that in this video, but it is there. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all get the best guns that you want out of this raid. And I hope you all get god rolls and have a great time with all the loot and fun from King's Fall. But thank you all so very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.